Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Jan Bishir and you're watching Jan of Kaduna. If this is your first time, you're right on track. And if this is not your first time, you watched my worst intro video ever and you're still here. You're the real G. Yeah. So today's video is going to be a story time. A story time video. I'm still trying to get the hang of this whole YouTube world. So grow with me, subscribe, like, comment, share, all the good stuff that they usually do it for your girl. So today's video is a story time, and before I start, my mom might watch this video. Just know that I was a young child and I was going to make mistakes, but you're proud of who I am, right? So this video I'm going to talk about my most daring travel experience. For me, it was the most daring. For a whole lot of people, I'm sure it's like, nah, it's nothing, it's child's play. But this is my own most daring experience, and you can share yours in the comment section. I'll be glad to go through them. So I was in 100 level. Yes, I was in 100 level. I was about 17 at then, and I was okay, no, I was 17, 18-ish. I was really 18 because December, so I think I was really 18 at then. So we were to vacate from school. I went to a faith-based private university in the south. So we are those kind of universities that they lock you in, you only go out of the school by exit and you come back, you're monitored, that kind of school. That was where I went to. So I was a good girl. I still am a good girl. I was a good girl then. And we were to vacate from school. But then again, I had a boyfriend. First love. I had a boyfriend and he was schooling. His school was about 30 to 40 minutes away from my school at that time. So we had not seen since I got into school because of how my school was, and I didn't know how to take that kind of risk then. So since we were vacated, we saw it as an opportunity for us to meet, because as I was going home, I was not going to meet with him because his school was still in session and he won't be able to come home before I come back to school. So that was an opportunity for us to see ourselves. So we agreed that, okay, I come to his place. He lived off campus. I come to his place, I see him, and then I go back to school, and then I go home. So I had told my mom that I had increased my vacation dates by 1 day. So I was vacating today. I told her I was vacating the next day. So they were to expect me home the next day while I go and see my boyfriend. I went, I saw him, it went well. And I was to come back to school, but it got late. And he and his friends were like, it was not safe for me to start going back to school at that time. So what they would rather do, I spend the night, and first in the next morning I will go back to school, and then I continue my journey as scheduled. Now, if I had known that was how the plan was going to take shape, I would have come with my things, because it was from where he was at Owerri. It was from Owerri that it was going to be easier for me to go home, because I was going to get to the park that I could get the bus to come back home. But instead, because since I didn't know that the plan was going to take that shape, my things were still in school. It did not have sense. So that morning, first in the morning, I woke up, he took me to the park, and I went back to school. I got my stuffs. By the time I left Owerri, it was like 6:30, 7-ish. By the time I got to school, it was like 8-ish. So before I get to the hostel, pack my stuffs and start coming. I got to, the community where the school was, we had a park near the school where you could go back to Owerri, and then for people like us that were going to farther distances, and then we could not get buses that could take us back to the north. So I got to the park. I got to the park. Everything was still going well. I got to the park around like 9-ish, and I was waiting at the park. We were waiting for the car to fill up. The bus that was to take us to Owerri. And then that was when I realized that my phone was not with me. The devil was at work. I had to go back to school. Before they could even let me go back into school. I had to speak plenty English. I was finally allowed to go back to school. Then thankfully, my bunkmate one of my roommates had not yet left for the holidays yet, so she was already coming to look for me, and then we met halfway through my journey to the hostel. I got my phone and I went back to the park. By the time I got back to the park again to start my journey to Owerri, it was already like 10 to 11-ish, around 10-11-ish. I was like, okay, the devil is at work. God has caught me. My lie, I went to go and see man, and now God is punishing me. At that point, I said God was punishing me. I was praying. I was almost in tears because the journey from the south to the east, especially the southeast, if you don't get a bus before 10, it's almost impossible for you to get a bus again, unless you guys have a special arrangement. It's almost impossible for you to get a bus again that will leave during the day to the north, unless you have to wait for night bus. And I've never been in a night bus. My mom has always spoken against night journey. She hated night journey because she felt it was not safe and all. Okay. By the time I left my school community and I got to Owerri, it was ready. So by the time I got to Owerri, it was around 11-ish. So when I got to, because before I found my way to Peace Park and all, it was around like 11 on the dot, because Peace Park was what I used. Then that was the transport company I used to go to the north then. So I went to the booking area. I was like, I'm going to Abuja. Is there a bus to Abuja? I was like, the last bus left like 30 minutes ago. Hey, Kagoro people have found me, and I have used myself to enter inside their trap. I was like, okay, I need to go to Abuja today, because I already told my mom I was on my way, and here I was in Owerri still looking for how to leave to Abuja. And I asked the lady. She was like, that my best bet was for me to go to Onitsha. From Onitsha, I will surely get transportation. I will surely get transportation going to Abuja. That's still during the daytime. I was like, okay, I got the ticket for Onitsha. When I was in the bus waiting for the bus to fill up, a fellow passenger that was with me when I was panicking and making all these inquiries, and I asked that, is it Abuja do I really want to go to Abuja during the day? I was like, yes, I need to be on my way to Abuja. I was not like, Onitsha is not the best way. The best way is if I should go to Enugu. I was like, okay, let's see how it's going to go. I ran back again to the booking arena. I said, I wanted to go to Enugu now. I was not going to Onitsha again. I was scared. I just wanted to be on my way to Abuja. Anyhow, if I was to get that bus above the heavens, under the sea, I just wanted to be on my way to Abuja. So when I got thankfully, I met someone again. I sold my ticket to that person, and I got another ticket to Enugu. Thankfully, the bus to Enugu was almost filled up, and by the time I came in, we started the journey. This was now around after 12. By the time, that was around 12-ish, yes. By the time I got to Enugu to Enugu was just about an 45 minutes to an hour, 20 minutes-ish. By the time I got to Enugu, It was like 12:30. It was like 1, I think. I can't remember the time, but it was still early afternoon, not very late afternoon. It was still early afternoon, so I think 1. And I asked, since it was still Peace Park, so I was at the Peace Park, and where to get buses to the north, I had to cross over. I had to cross over to the other side of the road. That was at Holy Ghost. I, Around Holy Ghost side, I crossed to the other side, and I asked Abuja, Abuja, Abuja. He said, Abuja bus just left now. The last bus I was going to Abuja just left now. I said, hey, Kagoro people have located me. Kagoro, see what great Zimbar has caused. Kagoro people have located me. I was confused. And here I was, my mom is that type of person that she's always communicating with you. Like after every hour, she's calling you. And I was lying. I was on my way. At the point, I realized that the bus had broken down. I was scared. And I was scared that, look at my boldness. I'm still lying. And I'm not even anywhere near Abuja. I was in Enugu. I was still somewhere closer to Abuja. But still, I was still in the south. I was still stuck in the southeast. And I asked, I begged them. I was like, please, is there anything I can do? What can I do to make sure that I go to Abuja today? And they said, I have to go to, because Peace Park, they don't do night journey at that time. I don't know if they do now, but at that time they don't do night journey because they have smaller buses. So they said I could go to the other side, the bigger buses. They usually leave earlier than normal night buses. I went there and I asked them, how much is Abuja? It was still within my budget. And I asked, when are you people leaving? They said, to leave by 3. Before we left Enugu, it was like 5:30. At this point, I have lied that our bus had broken down. I had lied that they were coming to fix our bus. I had lied. I had lied a great deal. Thank God I did not die in that journey, because I would have gone straight to hellfire. That was how, by the time I had to switch off my phone, so no one will even contact me, because they were getting me anxious. They were really, really getting me anxious. After that, by the time we started the journey, it was like 5:30-ish. We started the journey. We started going. I was scared. I have never embarked on night journey in my life. I was scared. I was so scared. By the time we got to Abuja, and at that time, when I was in 100, I didn't really know Abuja that much, because I only come to Abuja for holidays. I didn't know Abuja that much. So by the time I woke up, I think I slept up at the point. I even had mind to even sleep. I slept up at the point. By the time I woke up, we had gotten to Abuja, and they said we had Zuba. We had Zuba. And my aunt, because I was going to stay with my aunt, and my aunt stays in Lugbe. Now, I don't even know which direction Zuba was at that time. And I don't know which direction my auntie's house was at that time, because usually I would stop at somewhere and they'll direct me to how to come to their place. Hey, I looked everywhere. It was dark. Some people were finding where to sleep. I knew that sleeping here was not an option. I just didn't like how the place looked. And I asked, okay, how do I get a cab to Blue Bay? Thankfully, at that time, they were still giving me plenty pocket money. I asked, how can I get a cab to Blue Bay? And they said, okay, I could get... a cab guy was there, and they exploited me. And the guy was like, you could take me to Blue Bay, but I was to pay 3,000 at that time. I was to pay 3,000 there. And I felt it was too much, because this was around 2011, 2012. I was like, no. He was like, that's the only way, that because it's already late, he will not get passengers coming back, and he just wants to help me. He just wants to help me. And my mind was like, this man just wants to help me. What's this 3,000? Since I have 3,000, let me give him his 3,000, as long as I'll get home. We started the journey, and along the way, he was picking passengers. This was someone that was telling me his job he was going to do for me. He was picking passengers on the road. Shasha, he took me to the junction where I knew I was to get this thing. Now from the car wash junction, if you're used to Lugbe, from car wash junction, I knew my way to my aunt's house. So from there, I was able to get a bike. I was able to get a bike that took, okay, no, they were then they were not at car wash, they were somewhere else at Lugbe. There was another junction, I think near the police barracks or something. And then the police station also, I dropped there and I started trekking. How I was able to navigate my way at around 3:30 a.m. to my auntie's house, and I was so bold. Like I was walking and I was so bold till I got to my aunt's house and I knocked on the gate. Okay, I didn't want to knock on the gate because it was still very early, and I called my cousin and he came out. And he came out to pick me. He opened the gate, and my aunt, everybody just came out and they rushed. And my aunt was like, "Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus." And in my mouth, like, "Thank you, Jesus, Shabo. I did a bad thing. I was the man, and look at what it has cost me." And I got home, and my mom couldn't sleep. I felt bad that I put my family through that. And I promised myself I was never going to do that again. I still have some other daring experiences, but these ones were situations beyond my control. So for my family members that are watching this, this was not something that happened. It was situations beyond my control. That one, it was, I don't go to see man anything. This was the only one with see man, and I told God I will not do this again. I will come home. I will go home. And that was my first daring experience traveling. And after then, did I have another daring experience? As I said earlier, yes, I did. But this one was beyond my control. The other ones were beyond my control. But this very one, it was my own making, my stupidity, and my not having sense, and Anyway, we thank God that 2021, I'm still here, and I did not die in that trip. And I got to my destination safely. I was not manhandled. I was not molested. I was not raped. Even as I was walking from that bus stop to my aunt's house, nothing happened to me. And I arrived in one piece. You know, my mother was praying that night. And God has forgiven me. But if you had any daring experience traveling, any daring experience where you're traveling, please, I would love to hear from you in the comment section down below. And please, if you're still a young person like me, if you want to be in backyard business, please don't do it, especially when you want to travel, because God can catch you. Be a good child. Be a good child. So see my next video. Please like, subscribe if you've loved watching what you just watched, and if you're still here with me up to now, please like, subscribe, and I will see you in my next one. Have a great day.